I have a movie that I think you will find to be quite intriguing and original today. My curiosity has always been piqued by the kinds of conversations that take place behind closed doors whenever Ripple informs government authorities about XRP's aspirations to alter the way in which our monetary system operates. The reason I want to concentrate on one of those speeches in this video is because I believe it will really demonstrate to you how Ripple is attempting to get XRP accepted in comparison to what the rest of the cryptocurrency built. In my opinion, this was a very intriguing topic. Initially, I mentioned that this was something that piqued my curiosity because it seems to be the kind of conversation that I would be interested in learning more about. What is the relationship between Ripple and these countries? To what extent does Ripple collaborate with these large corporations in order to educate them on the usage of XRP as a means of storing wealth and utilizing it as a tool for the entire financial system? This is hilarious, don't you think? This is a post that I discovered on Dark Horse. Through the use of it, they are attempting to disrespect Zach Rector by spreading the perception that XRP is not money. For all intents and purposes, I don't really care about any of that, do I? Within the context of this video, I would like to discuss a few of the reasons why this movie was so interesting, which are not discussed as frequently as they should be. This movie is available for you to watch, and then you can listen to it afterwards. It is my belief that it will provide you with a more accurate picture of the kinds of conversations that Ripple has with these organizations behind the scenes. One of the reasons I adore it is because it is the kind of thing that we don't hear about. These are the kinds of things that give us the impression that Ripple Corporation has moved on with its company. It's not necessary for something to be a negative thing now, is it? The expectation that Ripple will shout from the rafters about the countries with which they collaborate is not realistic. It is unreasonable to anticipate that Ripple will disclose every single conversation that they have with the government or any other organization that they engage in conversations of this nature, but they are unable to discuss them, which is the reason why they have more than one. This is something that the majority of individuals in the Bitcoin world do not like, which is something that's 700 NDAS.range about it. The interpretation that they have given for this is that, well, if we can't see it, then something must not be happening. The fact that meme coins are not launching on it and that there are not a lot of NFTs and JPEGs surrounding it is probably not going to make a difference. There are a lot of people in the alternative cryptocurrency industry that are concentrating on what they are seeing right now. On the other hand, this film ought to demonstrate to you that things that aren't in front of people are frequently significant and intriguing to a much greater extent than those that are. After you have finished watching it, let's break this down, guys. If, on the other hand, the work that your pilot has been doing is successful, XRP will be the coin that connects everything. It would be necessary for people to have faith in it as a kind of currency for it to function in the same way that the dollar did for decades. How much longer will it be before people begin to recognize XRP as a genuine and reliable currency that has the potential to connect currencies that are difficult to access? We don't consider it to be a coin in our own views about it. In our language, we refer to it as a digital treasure. Within our system, the United States dollar, the euro, and the pound are all considered to be liquid currencies. Additionally, the payments that are made using XRP are still made in. On the other hand, according to our test, the manner in which a bank would quote that conversion would be as an XRP passing via this connector. According to this definition, it is not a currency, rather we refer to it as a liquidity instrument or an FX tool. It's true that you claimed it was a positive thing. So what exactly is it? In the event that I wish to exchange my Venezuelan peso for an asset and subsequently convert it back into my Chilean peso, what kind of asset would I be dealing with? Is it supposed to be a share, a stock, or the future? It must be something, or else I would not put my faith in it. Can you describe its appearance? Which object is it exactly? What is the worth of it, and is it possible for me to convert it into Chilean pesos? What exactly is all this commotion about? Based on the various applications of the technology, we anticipate that the market will expand into a wide variety of distinct groupings. In the United States, the Internal Revenue Service IRS considers them to be assets, just like land. Some of these designs, as well as the CFTCC, appear to be products. Some of these usage are also examples. There are some initial coin offerings, ICOs, that have the appearance of stocks, according to those who work for the Securities and Exchange Commission. Therefore, we are observing distinct groups by virtue of the manner in which they are assembled and utilized. We anticipate that this conversation will continue as technological advancements are made. And last, one more thing. Is that the distinction between the various assets that you could have brought to our attention in black and white? As a result, we would have a better understanding of how certain regulators are dividing us. In my opinion, it would be of great assistance if we were able to acquire that. I can gladly email you the clues if you are interested. Quite a few governments have contributed to the development of this system. It would be my pleasure to hand it over to you. That is not at all typical at all. Having said that, I found this video to be tremendously interesting due to the fact that the majority of the discussion was centered on the concept of XRP, which is a digital money. Can you tell me what the opinions of other governments are? Is it something that is beneficial or not? How secure is it kept? Is it a method of payment? In an intriguing turn of events, do you agree that this is precisely the point that Dark Horse was trying to make in the piece? There is no money involved, so who cares? So that's how I would respond to all of it. Is that correct? It makes no difference what you label it nonetheless. I am aware that any classification has legal repercussions, which I hope will be handled in due time. These repercussions need to be resolved. Whatever you want to call them, these things will, in the end, do everything that they were designed to accomplish. Simply put, it is a return to the fundamental concept in this instance. Who cares about it anyway? The primary objective of this film is not to debate whether or not distributed ledger technology, XRP, will be significant. Rather, it is to argue that it will be significant. In my opinion, Ryan Zagon, a member of Ripple, is providing instruction to the individual who is employed by an Irish bank, government, or anything comparable. With that being said, the subject of whether or not it would be beneficial is not being discussed at this time. They are both aware that possessing this object would be of great assistance in obtaining income in a short amount of time. The instantaneous exchange of monetary value throughout the globe would be of great assistance. In spite of the fact that it would be wonderful if this were to take place on a decentralized blockchain, it would not take an excessive amount of time to process transactions and make an absorbing charge. It should come as no surprise that they are not referring to that particular topic. Instead, the thing that worries them the most is how to carry out this endeavor in a manner that is proper. Hey, what are some ways that we may accomplish this in a manner that is logical in light of the names that other nations are giving it? In what way can we be certain that we are assigning the appropriate label to this? Additionally, it is very fascinating to learn about these chats, especially for guys. Even if something is a fraud, it's not like that. Who could possibly touch this? Now, what exactly does this do to remedy the problem? The same old thing keep happening over and over again. In this manner, they are not communicating with one another. In point of fact, they are conversing with one another. In the event that we do decide to maintain it, what do you think we need to call it? To what do we refer to it? With regard to the implementation of policy, what are the steps that we need to take? Additionally, as I have stated numerous times on this channel, this is coming from the highest levels, which includes influential individuals, groups, nations, and officials. When we make the transition to the new system, these individuals are discussing how we will be able to make effective use of these new tools. I really wish that conversations like these were taking place in the United States right now. I implore you to engage in conversations of this nature because they are the catalysts that make change possible. Officials and governments are collaborating with professionals who are actual people who want to tackle real problems in our financial system in order to develop answers that are required immediately. As a result of the fact that no one else in the cryptocurrency industry is discussing the future of Ripple and XRP in this manner, I have the impression that I have gone through enough of conversations of this nature with regard to cryptocurrency in general. I do invest money in a plethora of different enterprises, despite the fact that a lot of the things I see are ridiculous and full of hype. There are also some things that are somewhat interesting. There's a wealth of merchandise that may be purchased without the use of coinage. Several different products are competing with one another for the attention of regular investors in order to construct a financial system. There are other ways to construct something besides this one. Building the foundation for a new banking system in this manner is not the appropriate approach to take. It originates from the top down and is the result of actually putting things to use. The individuals working at Ripple are engaging in conversations of this nature behind closed doors. You don't come across them very frequently, for the simple reason that these seminars are not intended for the general public. The Bitcoin media and other well-known individuals in these other ecosystems will not inform you about them. Concerning these matters, there should be no discussion in public at any time. For the people who are operating the system and the money and ensuring that their approach is correct, these are for the people who are working in the background. The implementation of these things is carried out in the appropriate manner. For the purpose of working with governments and other large institutions, there are procedures that are now being implemented at the highest level. I believe that these will have the most impact, offer the greatest benefits, and serve for the longest period of time. In the end, I suppose we will find out who comes out on top. On the other hand, I believe that a good number of us have pondered the following question: are these conversations taking on behind the scenes? Because of this, I felt it was important to share this information with you. How and how much are they occurring? It is interesting to see that they are discussing the appropriate word to use following adoption. This appears to be evidence that humans are becoming more advanced. That, in my opinion, demonstrates how far we've come. It is certain that the technical components of our system will at some point require an update. They will not be going to the retail items if they are trying to accomplish that. For the purpose of making the necessary adjustments,